It's 4:30 a.m. From Fox 35. This is Good Day Orlando.
And right now at Good Day Orlando, a 4th of July celebration gone wrong. Now 2 men are waking up in hospital beds. Plus, the George Zimmerman trial resumes this morning. We're going to tell you who prosecutors are expected to call to the witness stand before resting its case. And the top destination in the country to retire, it is right here in Central Florida. We'll tell you where some folks say the best place to spend your golden years would be. Hi, everybody. Good morning. It is Friday, July 5th. Hope you had a good 4th. Of course, for a number of people, it is back to work today, and including Jamie and I, who were at work yesterday as well.
It never ended, man.
It never did.
Good morning to you. Either way, it's Friday, Ryan. This is good news. Weather today, like we went yesterday, kind of in that similar direction. Partly cloudy skies, slight chance of afternoon showers and storms that could persist through about 8 tonight. But again, it's the sunshine factor today, I think you know and you will love. And of course, we continue with the breezy southeast winds. 70s now, 80 at Melbourne, 77 at Daytona Beach, Ocala and Gainesville, the dueling 72s, and 73 out at Lakeland. Hey, if it wasn't enough for you, Lake Eola fireworks sped up 32 times faster than they actually went off. Look at that. Again, without a hitch. It was nice. The rain finally clearing out, as we told you, everything shifting west of the Orlando area into the overnight. Today, a very similar pattern in place, a lot of moisture to work with. We do have quite a bit of cloud cover, which should break up, giving us that partly cloudy scheme here all the way through the weekend, with an overall uptick in rain chances as soon as Tuesday and Wednesday. More on full weather in just a bit. Ryan, over to you now.
All right, Jamie, thanks. It was great. Saw the whole show and no traffic there as well. Unfortunately, not all safety, though, yesterday. Developing this morning, 2 people seriously injured. This one, fireworks went off at a dock. This happened in Brevard County. This accident on US 1 and Palm Shores. Now, both victims were airlifted to the hospital. Their names and conditions have not been released at this time. And, of course, today the George Zimmerman trial is going to resume after a day off yesterday. The prosecution now expected to call its final witnesses and then rest its case. The case took, of course, that day off for the holiday. And on Wednesday, a state CSI tech took the stand and talked about the DNA evidence that was found at the scene. Fox 35 legal analyst Diana Tennyson, also Larry, speaking with Fox 35's Bob Fryer last night about what we can expect today.
We're going to get the medical examiner who's going to talk about the cause of death and the identification of Trayvon Martin. And then we're going to have that very emotional, meaningful, impactful Sabrina Fulton testimony about that being Trayvon Martin's voice screaming for help.
Larry, don't you think that's going to come at the end, because the prosecutors want that to be the last thing that happens so the jury can mull that over for the whole weekend?
I think that's exactly how the state will want to end their case. They've gotten through all the dry testimony last week, and now they're going to wrap up with the medical examiner and then hit it out of the park, hopefully, with Sabrina Fulton's testimony, and let the jury consider that for as long as possible before the defense case starts.
And it will be interesting to watch the cross-examination from the defense if that does happen. Of course, you can count on the live gavel-to-gavel coverage starting at 8:30 a.m. today. And just keep in mind, you can always go to Zimmerman Trial on Fox.com for the very latest. Well, state troopers say an Orlando toddler has now died after being run over by a pickup truck driven by his father. Kimberly Wiggins has more on what appears to be just a tragic accident.
FHP is still investigating, but it doesn't look like charges will be filed against the father. FHP says this all happened at 12:40 yesterday afternoon on Old Oak Tree Court in Orlando. Investigators say Jose Manuel Cruz was in his GMC utility truck in his driveway when the 52-year-old began driving, but forgot something and backed up his truck. The babysitter, a teenager, was in the house at the time there to watch the toddler, but we're told somehow the little guy got out of the house on his own. Troopers say Cruz ran over his son, Prince.
The father did not even realize that he had run over something and continued to back up. We believe both tires ran over the child.
The toddler was pronounced dead at the scene. Reporting from the newsroom, Kimberly Wiggins, Fox 35 News.
What a sad story. Well, happening this morning, Brevard County now, deputies investigating what happened to 2 people. They were found dead in a home in Canaveral Groves community. Officials saying that the SWAT team was called out to the place on Blairwood Court. This was around 7:30. It's still too early to determine if this was a murder or suicide, they say. Deputies do not believe a suspect, though, is on the run right now. In Volusia County, deputies there are trying to figure out if a man who's in an Ormond Beach hospital is the same guy who tried to run over a police officer yesterday afternoon. The officer was nearly run down in Holly Hill off of Big Bend Lane. Undercover officers say they tracked a car to that location, but they won't say more. When one of the officers went up to the car, the driver put his hands on the and hit the gas, nearly backing over a policeman there. Now, police say 2 officers fired shots, and the driver then got out of the car and took off running. A short time later, police located a man with a gunshot wound at a nearby hospital. Again, they are questioning him to find out if he knows anything. One police update, though, as soon as they update us, we will continue to bring you the latest information. Well, this man, Larry Smith, in jail now, accused of a deadly hit and run. He is charged with grand theft and leaving the scene of an accident. Now, police say he and another suspect were inside of a stolen vehicle when it crashed into a power pole off of Main Street and Lake Avenue. Smith fled the scene and was later apprehended. Officials say the other suspect died in that crash. And a 12-year-old boy is recovering at home now after being hurt on a cruise. The child slipped and fell while running on the deck of the Carnival Sensation. The child was treated by medical staff on the ship and then airlifted to the hospital after the ship arrived at port yesterday morning. And more than 100,000 race fans, of course, in Daytona Beach this weekend. It is the Coke Zero 400. Today, though, fans will gather for the Subway Firecracker 500. Now, this video of last year's race, Kurt Busch will attempt to defend his title as champion of the annual July race. The drivers will take off now from the 100-lap race tonight at 7:30. The Subway Firecracker 250, also the first Dash for Cash race, which gives the top nationwide series drivers a chance to win $100,000 in bonuses. And yesterday, race fans enjoyed the 4th of July at the track. Pretty good way to spend it there as well. The drivers took turns taking practice laps there. You can see all the decorations. They were also focused on determining just how well these cars will handle on the hot summer asphalt. But race teams did take the time, though, to put some patriotic paint on their rides in honor of the holiday yesterday. And the Daytona International Speedway breaking ground today on a new multi-million-dollar expansion. A big day there as track owners say the renovations will make the complex more comfortable for the fans. And it's not just the seats that are improving. In fact, the $375 million expansion also includes plenty of modern amenities, including 40 escalators, also neighborhoods-themed restaurants with seating, a bar, and a terrace.
Our fans in NASCAR and that come here to Daytona are the very best in all of sports, and they deserve the best and expect that.
And construction is going to begin after the Coke Zero 400. It will bring in about 4,000 jobs to Daytona. That project is expected to be complete by 2016 there at the Speedway. Well, the push to buy goods made in America getting a local boost now. We're going to introduce you to a man who hopes that his website is going to change the way that you shop. And there's some troubling news on the failing health of Nelson Mandela. We're going to have the latest on his condition coming up after the break. It is 4:37 on this 5th of July. Stay with us. You're watching Good Day. Some more cars on the road this morning. It's a number of people getting back to work. We're really not the scene at I-4 and Conroy. Things are pretty smooth sailing, although a decent amount of traffic before 4:39. Let's hope we have a lot better day than we saw yesterday. It was certainly not a good driving day. In the news this morning, let's get you caught up on the top headlines, including new documents claiming that former South African President Nelson Mandela could be on life support now. The anti-apartheid icon has been in the hospital for the past 27 days, and reports say he's being kept alive with a breathing machine. But government officials, they are denying those rumors. They say that Mandela remains in critical but stable condition. In Egypt, ousted President Mohamed Morsi's Muslim Brotherhood now calling for a wave of protest today. They're calling it the Friday of Rage. Yesterday, Egypt's military arrested senior figures in the party and moved Morsi to a detention center in Cairo. Interim President Adlai Mansour was sworn in yesterday morning. And fire officials in Arizona getting now the upper hand over that deadly blaze. The wildfire that was sparked by lightning last week is now about 85% contained, so they made a lot of ground yesterday. And some residents are also being allowed back in their homes. This fire killed 19 firefighters and destroyed more than 100 homes across 13 square miles. At least 6 U.S. airlines have canceled flights now to and from Mexico because of a volcano eruption there. The planes were grounded after the volcano started spewing ash, steam, and even some glowing rocks. Now, U.S. Airways, Delta, United America, and Alaska now among the airlines that have canceled flights. All flights leaving from Orlando to Mexico City have not been affected by that volcano. Well, I've been talking a lot about Dwight Howard in the past week, and his future has yet to be decided, but one team already taking steps now to make sure that they can afford the superstars. They're feeling pretty good about their chances and creating jobs by buying all American. We're going to show you how one local man is making it easier to find products made right here in the USA. You're watching Fox 35. It is 4:41 on this Friday morning.